Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Sune. I hope you're well, and if you're not, I hope you're well soon. Today I just wanted to flip through one of my... So I have this card deck. The cards are really big though. And I just wanted to flip through the book and give a reading and just kind of see where it takes me. So I've never really done this on my channel, but I'm experimenting with different ways to just give messages, whether they resonate or not, because I'm sure someone who clicks on it will resonate with it, even if it's just one person. So that's my intention, that those who need to see this will see it and take what they need to take from it. So let's see. First card. Ooh. That's really beautiful. So this one is number 2. It says wholeness. Present challenge. Rediscovering and or deepening your commitment to your spiritual nature. Oh my gosh. Okay, here we go. So it says the angelic message, wholeness. Wholeness is more a state of spirit than a state of mind. When you were a child, you assumed you were entirely perfect until others told you that you were not. The challenge of finding wholeness in your life today is in recognizing that this latent sense of joyful understanding is still within you and needs to be brought forth into your life. The funny thing about what I just read is that, to me, it kind of explains the concept of inner child. So when we're young and we are our natural selves, we aren't really caring as much about what other people think of us because it hasn't developed in us yet that we, need to care about other people's judgments of us as much. It starts to kick in the more conscious we are of others' opinions of us and the more we are relating. So it's so interesting because it feels like when people tell us things, whether they say something bad to us, like, oh, you're not good enough because of this, or, oh, you can't do that, oh, you're not worthy, or whatever. Like, anything someone tells you when you're young, it programs you to believe that later on. And so that's the fragmentation. This is so interesting this is coming through because I was thinking about this earlier, and I was also seeing signs about it. So it's like this fragmentation of self when you're young, it starts to develop and it gets more and more fragmented as you get older. If you are allowing that programming to run your life, to run you subconsciously. So in becoming whole again, as this is saying, it's looking back into those moments and reclaiming an understanding about yourself that was broken down, distorted, disrupted by the opinion of the outside world, whether by individuals, society at large, which really society is just a culmination of individuals, so individuals, and specific viewpoints that are generally more valuable than others, which is not true. It's just what's been accepted by a good amount of people, or those in power, to the point that it impacts individuals' view of themselves. Coming back to wholeness is in recognizing those moments, all of those different things that are telling you you are one thing when you are actually another. Wholeness is realizing the discrepancy in who you actually are versus who society, other people have programmed you to believe you actually are. It's the fragmentation that people talk about. So that's what it means to go back to the wholeness, is to realize that fragmentation in our minds, in our beliefs, in our view of ourselves, and to put it back together, to reclaim the power back from what others have told you. And that is through the inner child. That's what the inner child is. It's going back to your earliest self, your most authentic expression of yourself, and bringing that back to you by shedding and deprogramming all of which has been accumulated as you've gotten older. So that's an interesting message that just told me. Okay. This is so fun. I'm gonna pull one more card, and then we'll see. So let's look. One more card, please. Here, we're gonna do this without even looking, so that I'm not biased. Because there's certain cards that I'm like, ooh, pretty, but... Ooh. Here we go. Number 15. Self-worth. Present challenge. Ability to hold your inner balance and to respond to others from your own self-worth. Ooh. That hit. Alright. You have drawn this card to help you recognize the times and the ways in which you give away your inner power. What were we just talking about? Wholeness and inner power. That's crazy. This card suggests you need to strengthen your feelings of inner confidence and self-worth so that others are not so easily able to break down or deflate your sense of well-being. To deflate your wholeness. To break down your wholeness. To fragment you. You are entering, or may already have entered, a series of experiences to help you test your own ability to hold or reclaim your power. Wow. This card is suggesting that you will do well to make sure you stay in your own power, even when others have expectations of your fixing their lives. Wow. So, this is so interesting. So that is what we were talking about when we're talking about the outside opinions of others, fragmenting your sense of wholeness, your sense of sovereignty, of self-worth, your view of yourself. And when others fragment that view of yourself, of the truth of who you are, this is the distorted energies, and a lot of people don't realize that they're doing this because they are not aware. So you being aware, it's good to be aware. There's some people that are not fully aware in the sense of spiritual awareness, but they are aware in the sense of intellectual awareness of like, okay, like maybe they study psychology or they study like, medicine stuff. So like, okay, this is why these certain things happen. So they understand it from that perspective, but not from a spiritual perspective. It doesn't necessarily matter how you understand it. There are some people that just simply don't understand that they are pulling on other people and they are taking advantage of other people because they were programmed to do that. They were programmed because of the fragmentation. They were programmed to rely on other people in certain ways, their opinions, others' power. It's like, it's that fragmentation. So the reason why people have low self-esteem, self-worth, and the reason why they pull on others is because they don't think that they are whole themselves. When people think that they are not whole, they try to take from other people believing that they will make them whole. That gives away your power. That gives away your power. So when you are aware that that is giving away your power, you are aware that that fragmentation is the reason that you do not have that self-worth within yourself. You can start to reclaim that power back from other people. And in doing that, you may upset people. You may make them mad because they're used to that fragmentation. They're used to two fragmented people using each other for certain ways to feel whole. They're used to that. And so when you pull away, they're like, what the heck happened to this person giving me their fragmented self? Well, you learned that you're whole already. And they may not know yet. And usually that's not their fault. But that's what happens sometimes. So, like it says here, a series of experiences to help you test your own ability to hold or reclaim your power. So right now, and this is kind of what happened in my collective reading when I was doing this, there's a new version of you now that is communicating and showing up in a new way that maybe a lot of people don't like or don't quite understand. And it's because you're coming into that wholeness that you have been fighting to get to. So good job. And in doing that, you're probably being tested right now. You're being tested to see, can you hold that power? Can you stay in that state of your inner wholeness and not become fragmented again with these other people who are fragmented? Not play into their fragmentation. Can you do that? You can. I believe in you to do that. You're already doing that, I'm sure. But it's testing, because it's testing the strength and your resilience to stay in your wholeness. That doesn't mean that we are perfect or that we are going to stay in that wholeness perfectly, because as I said, this world is not perfect. We are not perfect. We make mistakes. And who's to say what's actually right or wrong if this is a non-dualistic reality? Anyway. I really love this card. Because you are getting into this time in your life where you're actually starting to feel valuable and whole within yourself. And you're realizing that you do not need the validation and the judgment and opinion of others to feel safe within yourself. You're also recognizing that a lot of people's view of you is actually very inaccurate to who you really are. And that you have been involuntarily, for the most part, playing into their view of you in a way that was taking away your power. But now now you're more aware of what was happening, what you were doing unconsciously, and you are saying, okay, I don't want to do that anymore. I want to be whole. I want to be happy. I want to be joyful. And I don't want to be fragmented anymore. Because when you're in a state of fragmentation, there's a lot of confusion, there's a lot of grabbing, there's a lot of distorted energy when you are in that fragmentation that keeps you stuck, keeps you confused, keeps you in cycles that are not the most beneficial, right? But again, from a non-dualistic standpoint, those cycles can teach you a lot. But if you are aware enough, you can get out of those cycles and use them as lessons to fuel your potential and your future going forward. So that is really cool. I love that came through. This is fun. I gotta do more of these. Yeah, so that was that reading. Let me know how you liked it. And I plan to do more in the future and just experiment because it's really fun and just see what comes through. So yeah, I hope you guys are well, and if you're not, I hope you're well soon, and have a great day.